I won't say a word, just let you breathe. I won't make a sound, I won't slow you down. I knew we were on borrowed time, just a passing streak, nothing you will keep. I fell in too deep. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky.
Flashing sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, I'll follow from golden. Golden, golden.
Let's see here.
Hey, what you doing?
The twins' first birthday. Look how little they were.
Look how little I was.
And Georgie, when he lost his first tooth.
We left the first quarter, he's about to fill out the rest of it.
Guess he's always been a businessman.
Yeah, hey.
Tell me, you don't miss those people.
tonight. We're living quick in this world, gonna get it right now. People talk and tell what you wanna hear now, but they all disappear, they will let you down. So we better stick together, let's come whatever, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in this world, gonna get it right now. We only need the two of us together. We only need the two of us together. 'Cause we got love. 'Cause we got love. You wanna get to me close, why don't you do it right now? You know we met for a reason, but you trying to deny that we should be together. It's heavy weather we're heading for tonight. You better take what you can, 'cause the time is right now. We only need the two of us together. 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 'Cause we got love.